Hey, what's up there, ladies and gentlemen? It's been a long time since I made a video, and I finally got out to the garage here and was starting to work on my bike again. So I thought I'd bring you guys along with me, fire up the camera, and kind of show you what I'm finding here. So excuse my overcrowded, messy garage here. A different camera this time. Before I was using my iPhone. So as you can see, here's the dirt bike. Working on it again. If you had watched my old videos, you've seen the progress of this thing and how I kind of got frustrated and gave up on it. Because excuse me, I gotta move something. Because I was having, I built the electrical system on this thing and I was having issues with it. During the testing phase. So I've kind of developed some new information about it since then, and kind of got re-encouraged to work on it again. Be able to pop out? Don't think so. Actually, maybe I should have taken that ring off. Dang it. Oh. Grab my. Comes a rip snorter. That bike for my kids. I think I just blew out the headlight again. There's something wrong with the rectifier regulator. I don't know if it's just a cheap malfunctioned piece. It is a piece that I ordered from China on eBay. It seemed to work. In fact, it still seems to work every once in a while, but it seems to allow surges to get by it. And when I first got it, it had no problem regulating at 12 volts, but it seems to have changed inside, because now, and that was mostly 12 volts all the time, like 7 volts at an idle, 12 volts at middle operating range. But now it seems to want to pretty much stay at 6 to 8, but then every once in a while will just surge and absolutely shoot up to like 60. So I was just doing some testing and I had the voltmeter on it, and it was running about 8 volts, and then next thing I knew, my headlight was out. So I also got a new turn signal device, flasher, which I'll show you in a second, which works much better than the old thermal flasher. Yep. I believe she's fried. I don't know which one I was. Yeah, I think I was using that one. So. Yep. Gosh, dang it. I'm completely out of frame here. This is the bulb I was using in there. It's one of the blue, super bright lights. So, I don't know if you can see. Shoot, I can't even see it. Floating around in the bottom there is one of the springs. These have a dual element in there, or dual filament, I mean, which just basically means, focus. Means it has two tungsten coils in there that light up so that you can have high and low beam. Let's see here. So, I'll show you. This is the new flasher, and it works much better for when this thing is idling under lower voltage. This is an electronic flasher, and it works perfectly. The one I had before, I took it apart. Let's see. This is with the housing off. This is all that's in these things. It's called a thermal flasher, or a thermal something or other. What is it? Does it say on here? Doesn't even say on this. But anyways, it focus. Oh, come on, you can do. There we go. Alright, so it's got this little bar right across here. You can kind of see it has like a little hot mark on it, burn mark. This camera sucks. Basically, that little bar heats up, and it's attached to this flat piece of metal here that can bend, and it's attached at one end and at the other. And as that bar heats and cools, it expands and contracts, which will flex that metal wall right there, which makes contact when it's flexed. When it's not flexed, it's not making contact. So that's how that functions. As it heats up, it makes contact, and then it cools off, and then it contracts. I mean, you can correct me if that's not the accurate description of the function, but that's essentially what it is. It's a thermal connection. These, I don't know if you can kind of see inside, there's some circuitry board stuff, and electronics and diodes and capacitors and coils, which make this function. I'm thinking what I'm going to do, instead of continually chasing gremlins on this, just to get it past inspection, because that's my whole goal, is to make this thing pass the DOT inspection, to make this thing street legal. In my past videos, you saw where I had the NiCad battery pack, which is old and doesn't hold a charge anymore. I've recently acquired a 12 volt, it's a sealed, maintenance-free lead acid battery. 12 volt, works super good, holds the charge perfectly, and if I find a way to mount this and attach it to the system here, I don't even have to worry about the charging system or the electrical system being supplied by the bike, as far as the lights being legal. I can run it off this battery to get it past inspection, and actually run it that way as well. As long as I'm not taking long trips on this thing where the capacity of the battery would be superseded by the distance, then I could be fine operating on this until I figure out a charging system to recharge it, and then it will be perfect. Well, not figure out the charging system, figure out the gremlins in this charging system. So I can give you a demonstration of that. You can't really see what I'm doing here. Again, you'll have to excuse my dirty garage. I'm not done. Now it's summer, I'm not even done with spring cleaning yet. But so the thing's just kind of wired in. Okay, system's already on. Let me see here. Fold this tripod up. Alright, so I kind of got that battery just hooked into the positive and negative that come off of the the positive and negative wires that should be coming off the rectifier regulator are just going straight to the battery. And this is where the old battery was connected and mounted under here. So anyways, the system is switched on. I have, let's see, horn. I have turn signals. Those flash beautifully. And brake light. Now the tail light function is still fried thanks to a lovely surge of the system. So I will have to figure out that tail light. The brake light function still works, as you saw. I got this here stop tail turn, which has a conventional filament bulb that could be theoretically replaced in case anything happened to this. And these things are super cheap. They're for trailers and such. But I'd really like to get that LED taillight working again. It's tucked under there. So, I don't know. It's a sealed unit. I'll have to see if I can tear into it. And maybe it's simple as replacing a diode or something. There's probably a diode that helps protect that, so we shall see. And there she is. So I'm again working on her intermittently. My neighbor's mowing his yard. Nothing happening on the Sportster, unfortunately. I don't know what condition it was in last. I put the stock bars back on and yeah, just kind of fiddling around with it. No real work done to it. I'm going to do a rear fender on it, and what I'm thinking right now is building a oil tank into the fender so that it's concealed. It's a hidden oil tank. Hopefully you could hear me that whole time. My neighbor was on his lawnmower, and still is, but he's down the road. So yeah, I could potentially get this thing on the road with that battery. So I think that's what I'm going to do. It is now riding season here in Washington State. I'm missing an opportunity by not having a bike that's on the road. I still need to finish that front fender. I now need another bulb for the front end, and I need to figure out that tail light and a place to mount the battery. So yeah, potentially I could have this thing street legal. I don't know. We'll see. I'm still concerned about the title on this thing being for dirt use only and all that, and the DMV actually approving it. And my neighbor's back on his lawnmower. Alright. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Stay tuned. As I work on this thing, there will be more videos as I work on both my bikes. I want to start uploading on a regular basis. Kind of an update with the channel. What am I doing here? I've recently become partnered with a third-party network. So that means that I'll have a lot more help in getting views and branding and such. So I need to actually figure out a strict schedule and stick to it. That's kind of how these things go. I got this little camera here which will help, although I don't know, I'm not very impressed with it so far, but it'll help with the production of things, and it has a tripod mount, so that'll help keep me hands-free, and I can actually make some videos of me working, not just kind of showing what I've done, but actually getting the work on video and do some kind of how-to and tutorial tip stuff. Not that I am a master by any means, but I have experience, so might as well share it, and that's what this is all about, is sharing my love of motorcycles. So, allergy season. So, alright guys, take care, and I'll see you around the block. Bye.